Right now, as you are watching this, a massive storm system is building across the center of the United States, and it is not slowing down. Over the next 72 hours, this system is going to unleash tornadoes, baseball-sized hail, destructive straight-line winds, and catastrophic flash flooding across more than 24 states. And here's the part that should get your attention. The Storm Prediction Center has already issued a rare day 430% severe weather risk. That almost never happens this far in advance. When they do that, it means they are extremely confident that something big is coming. And I am going to walk you through every single detail, city by city, hour by hour, so you know exactly when this hits your area. But stay with me, because at the 5-minute mark, I am going to reveal which cities are sitting directly in the bullseye for the most dangerous day of this entire outbreak. That information could save your life or the life of someone you love. Now, before we go any further, I need you to do something. Drop a comment right now with the city or town where you live. I am going to be responding to as many of you as possible with specific forecasts for your area. The more specific you are, the better I can help you. Tell me your city, your state, and I will get you dialed in on exactly what to expect and when. I have already mapped out forecasts for over 270 cities and locations across the United States in this update, and if yours is not on the list, I will personally find it for you in the comments. All right, let us break this down. What we are dealing with here is not just one storm. This is a multi-day severe weather outbreak that is going to unfold in 4 distinct rounds starting tonight and lasting all the way through Saturday. 4 rounds, 4 separate waves of severe weather, each one targeting different parts of the country. And the third round, the one coming on Friday, that is the one that has every meteorologist in the country watching very closely right now. But I am getting ahead of myself. Let me take you through this day by day so you understand exactly what is coming and when. And I want to be very clear about something before we begin. I am not here to scare you. I am here to prepare you. There is a huge difference. Fear makes you freeze. Preparation makes you survive. So take a deep breath, get a pen and paper if you need to, and let us walk through this together. Here is how we are going to structure this breakdown. First, I am going to cover tonight S storms, the ones already developing as you watch this. Then we will move to Wednesday, which is a moderate severe weather day with a real flash flood concern. Then Thursday, where supercells are going to fire along a dry line in West Texas. And then Friday, the main event, which has the potential to be one of the most significant severe weather days of 2026. After that, I will cover the lingering threats on Saturday, the winter weather impacts in the Northeast, the rain and snow out west, the temperature roller coaster coming for the entire eastern half of the country, and the long-range outlook that suggests this wild pattern is nowhere close to being done. That is a lot to cover, so let us get moving. Round 1 starts tonight, Tuesday evening, March 3rd. Right now, as darkness falls across the southern plains, the atmosphere is already primed and loaded. We have a 1 out of 5 risk on the severe weather scale stretching from the eastern Texas panhandle through Oklahoma into southeastern Kansas, across the Missouri Ozarks, and into southwestern Illinois. Now, a 1 out of 5 does not sound like much, and honestly, this is the weakest round of the 4, but here's the catch. This is an overnight setup. Storms are going to fire after midnight along the Kansas and Oklahoma state line, and overnight storms are dangerous for one simple reason. People are asleep. They are not watching radar. They are not paying attention to alerts, and that is when storms can catch you off guard. These storms tonight are going to be primarily hail producers. The atmosphere is going to be somewhat stable at the surface because it is nighttime, so the storms are going to be elevated, meaning they are feeding off instability higher up in the atmosphere rather than at ground level. That makes them less likely to produce tornadoes, but it makes them excellent at producing large hail. And we cannot rule out some strong winds or even an isolated tornado. What these storms will not lack is moisture. We are going to see heavy rainfall, especially as these storms push into the Ozarks in central and southern Missouri. So let me give you the timing for tonight. If you live in Wichita, Kansas, storms could reach you between 1 and 3 in the morning Wednesday. Tulsa, Oklahoma, you are looking at 2 to 4 in the morning. Joplin, Missouri, 3 to 5 in the morning. Springfield, Missouri, 4 to 6 in the morning. And by the time you wake up on Wednesday morning in Jefferson City and St. Louis, it is going to be a wet, soggy start to your day. Now, here's what I need you to understand about tonight. The outflow boundaries from these storms, that is the cold air that rushes out from the base of thunderstorms, those outflow boundaries are going to play a critical role in what happens next. They are going to stabilize the atmosphere to the north. But where those outflow boundaries collide with warm, moist, unstable air to the south, that is where brand new storms are going to explode to life on Wednesday. And that brings us to round two. Round 2. Wednesday, March 4th. This is where things start to escalate. The Storm Prediction Center has issued a Level 2 out of 5 slight risk stretching from Dallas, Texas, all the way up through Little Rock, Arkansas, and into southern Illinois. And within this risk area, there is a 2% tornado probability. Now, 2% might sound small, but remember that is a 2% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of any given point. Across an area this large, that means we are very likely going to see at least a couple of tornadoes touch down on Wednesday. Let me tell you exactly where and when. There are 2 sectors to watch on Wednesday, the Southern Plains sector and the Ohio Valley sector. They are going to behave very differently, and I am going to break down both of them for you right now. Starting with the Southern Plains, as surface heating breaks through the cloud cover on Wednesday afternoon, the atmosphere is going to destabilize rapidly. We are looking at convective available potential energy levels. That is the fuel for thunderstorms, reaching 1,000 to 2,000 joules per kilogram. Combine that with strong wind shear and you have got a recipe for some nasty storms. Here is the timing for the Southern Plains on Wednesday. Dallas-Fort Worth, storms fire between 4 and 6 in the evening. Expect damaging hail, potentially golf ball size or larger, along with damaging winds. Arlington, Texas, same time frame. Waco, Texas, you could see storms as early as 3:30 in the afternoon. Fort Smith, Arkansas, storms arrive between 5 and 7 in the evening. Fayetteville, Arkansas, same window, 5 to 7. Bentonville, Arkansas, you are in that zone too. Little Rock, Arkansas, storms push in between 7 and 9 in the evening. Jonesboro, Arkansas, 8 to 10 at night. Branson, Missouri, 6 to 8 in the evening. Mount Vernon, Illinois, 7 to 9 at night. Carbondale, Illinois, including the area around Southern Illinois University, storms arrive between 7 and 9 in the evening. Evansville, Indiana, 8 to 10 at night. Now here is what makes Wednesday particularly tricky. These storms are going to be capable of producing damaging hail, damaging winds, and isolated tornadoes, but they are also going to be prolific rain producers, and that is actually the bigger concern for a lot of areas. Heavy rain is going to fall over the same spots repeatedly, and that creates a serious flash flood threat. Let me talk about that second sector now, the Ohio Valley. This is where the flooding story really takes center stage. Starting this evening, Tuesday night, showers and thunderstorms are already moving through parts of Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. And here is the problem. These storms are going to repeatedly move over the same areas. It is what meteorologists call training storms, like a train where each boxcar passes over the same section of track. Each storm cell passes over the same area, dumping more and more rain. For the Ohio Valley, we are looking at 2 to 4 inches of rainfall through Thursday morning, with some spots potentially seeing even more. Cities in the crosshairs for heavy rain include Indianapolis, Indiana, Cincinnati, Ohio, Bloomington, Illinois, Louisville, Kentucky, Dayton, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. And the ribbon of heaviest rain stretches from Illinois through southern Indiana into southern Ohio. The Weather Prediction Center has a marginal risk of excessive rainfall for this area, but do not be surprised if that gets upgraded to a slight risk, especially if these training thunderstorms keep hammering the same neighborhoods through the overnight hours and into Wednesday morning. If you live anywhere near a creek, stream, or low-lying area in the Ohio Valley, please take this seriously. Do not drive through flooded roads. Remember, turn around, do not drown. It only takes 6 inches of fast-moving water to knock you off your feet, and 12 inches can sweep away a vehicle. Every single year in the United States, more people die from flooding than from tornadoes. That is a fact most people do not know, and it is a fact that could keep you alive this week. Let me give you some additional cities in the Ohio Valley that need to pay close attention to the flood threat. Terre Haute, Indiana, you are right in the path. Muncie, Indiana, watch those low spots. Anderson, Indiana, same. Richmond, Indiana, be careful near the Whitewater River. Springfield, Ohio, pay attention to Buck Creek. Mansfield, Ohio, stay alert. Zanesville, Ohio, the Muskingum River could rise fast. Chillicothe, Ohio, watch the Scioto River. Frankfort, Kentucky. The Kentucky River is one to monitor. Bowling Green, Kentucky. Stay aware of any low water crossings. Owensboro, Kentucky, right along the Ohio River. Henderson, Kentucky, same situation. Vincennes, Indiana, the Wabash River could see rises. And Mattoon, Illinois, Effingham, Illinois, Olney, Illinois. These smaller communities often get overlooked in severe weather coverage, but they are squarely in the zone for heavy rain and potential flooding this week. Now, I also want to talk about something the Storm Prediction Center just rolled out that is going to change how we communicate severe weather risk. Starting today, they have introduced a new conditional intensity level system. This is a 3-tiered system that replaces the old hatched areas on their tornado and severe weather probability maps. You know how we used to just have a 10% hatched risk of tornadoes? That single hatch now has more granularity. There can be a double hatch and a triple hatch, giving us a much clearer picture of not just the probability of severe weather, but the potential intensity. This is going to be incredibly useful as we track this outbreak through the week. When you see those maps on social media or on television, the new hatching system will tell you more than ever before about what kind of storms to expect. All right, now I promised you that at the 5-minute mark, I would reveal which cities are sitting in the bullseye for the most dangerous day of this entire outbreak. And here it is. We are talking about Friday, March 6th. But before I get to Friday, I need to tell you about Thursday, because Thursday is the bridge between the moderate action of Wednesday and the potential outbreak on Friday. Do not skip ahead. The Thursday information is critical, especially if you live in West Texas or the Panhandle. Round 3, Thursday, March 5th. Now the real beast starts to wake up. A massive upper-level trough, think of it as a giant dip in the jet stream, is going to come crashing into the western United States. And as it does, it is going to set off a chain of events that builds toward what could be the biggest severe weather day of 2026 so far. On Thursday, the Storm Prediction Center has a level 2 out of 5 slight risk covering the Texas Panhandle, West Texas, western Oklahoma, the Oklahoma Panhandle, and up into Kansas. And the 1 out of 5 marginal risk extends even further north into Nebraska and Iowa. Here is what is going to happen. A dry line is going to sharpen up across West Texas during the afternoon. For those who do not know, a dry line is a boundary between very moist air from the Gulf of Mexico and very dry air from the desert Southwest. Where those two air masses collide, thunderstorms explode, and on Thursday that dry line is going to be a storm factory. Let me give you the dew points so you understand how much moisture we are dealing with. By Thursday afternoon, 7 in the evening, Waco, Texas is going to have a dew point of 67 degrees. Dallas, 65 degrees. Those dew points push as far north as Oklahoma City. But just to the west, over Amarillo and Lubbock, the dew points drop to near nothing. That sharp contrast is the dry line. And when it moves eastward over Amarillo and Lubbock during the late afternoon, that is going to force all that warm, moist air violently upward into the atmosphere. And that is when the supercells are born. Timing for Thursday. Amarillo, Texas, supercells could fire between 5 and 7 in the evening. Lubbock, Texas, same window. Wichita Falls, Texas, storms arrive between 7 and 9 in the evening. The Oklahoma City metro area, storms could reach you between 9 and 11 at night. And just west of Fort Worth, you need to be watching between 10 at night and midnight. Now, here is the twist that I need you to hear. Thursday's wind shear profile is going to be particularly favorable for one thing: monster hail. I am talking baseball size, possibly even larger. The wind shear is not going to be quite strong enough for a widespread tornado outbreak on Thursday, but it is going to enhance the hail threat significantly. If you live in the Texas Panhandle, specifically around Amarillo and Lubbock, Thursday evening could produce some of the largest hail we have seen in months. Cover your vehicles, bring your pets inside, and stay away from windows. But the tornado threat on Thursday is higher than what we saw on Wednesday. Isolated but significant tornadoes are possible with these supercells. If you live in the Texas Panhandle, Thursday evening is when you need to have your weather alerts turned up loud. Have multiple ways to receive warnings. A weather radio, a phone app, local television, whatever it takes. And now, here is what I have been building up to. The main event. The day every meteorologist is watching, round 4. Friday, March 6th. This is it. This is the day that has the Storm Prediction Center issuing a rare day 430% risk, and they have already elevated Friday to a 3 out of 5 enhanced risk, which is the orange shading on their Outlook map. That enhanced risk stretches from Oklahoma City up through Kansas City and into St. Joseph, Missouri. And the broader 2 out of 5 slight risk covers a massive area from Wisconsin all the way back down to Texas. Let me explain why Friday is so concerning. Remember that massive upper-level trough I mentioned? By Friday, it is going to be fully amplified and ejecting into the plains. We are talking about a 60 to 80 knot mid-level jet that is roughly 70 to 90 miles per hour winds at 15,000 feet, screaming across the southern plains and into the Midwest. That kind of energy at that level of the atmosphere is fuel for violent thunderstorms. At the surface, a powerful low-pressure system is going to develop off the front range of the Rocky Mountains and track northeastward into the Midwest. As it moves, it is going to scoop up enormous amounts of Gulf moisture, sending dew points soaring across the plains and into the Midwest. We are talking dew points in the upper 60s, some spots even touching 70 degrees. That is tropical levels of moisture being fed directly into the storm zone. And here is the critical piece. On Friday, we are going to have a wide open warm sector. That means there is going to be a huge area of warm, moist, unstable air with nothing to cap it, no temperature inversion to hold storms back. When storms fire on Friday, they are going to be explosive. The dry line is going to sharpen up across western Texas and western Oklahoma, and that is going to act as the spark plug. I expect isolated supercells to develop during the early to mid-afternoon hours along the dry line. These will be monsters, rotating supercells with the potential for large tornadoes. And here is a detail that should make you sit up straight. The Storm Prediction Center has not used the word outbreak yet, but I am going to tell you something. When you have a 60 to 80 knot jet at mid-levels, dew points in the upper 60s with a wide open warm sector, and a sharpening dry line acting as a trigger mechanism, you have all the classic ingredients for a tornado outbreak. It does not mean it will happen for certain, but the setup is there, and it is the kind of setup we only see a handful of times per year in the United States. This is not a drill, this is the real thing. Let me also break down what these storms might physically look like on radar, because a lot of you track storms on your phone apps and you need to know what you are seeing. In the afternoon on Friday, you will see isolated supercell signatures on radar. These show up as rotating cells, often with a hook echo shape, and they move somewhat slowly compared to the faster-moving squall line that comes later. If you see a storm with confirmed rotation near your location on Friday afternoon, that is your signal to take shelter immediately. Do not wait for a tornado warning. Do not wait to see the tornado. Get to your safe place, an interior room on the lowest floor away from windows. A basement is ideal. A closet or bathroom without windows on the ground floor works if you do not have a basement. Put on a helmet if you have one. Seriously, helmets save lives in tornadoes, and that is not an exaggeration. Then, as the evening progresses, those supercells are going to begin to congeal into a squall line, a solid wall of thunderstorms that will carry the damaging wind threat well into the overnight hours. Let me give you city-by-city timing for Friday, because this is the information that matters most. Starting in the southern plains, Lubbock, Texas, supercells could fire as early as 1 to 3 in the afternoon. Amarillo, Texas, 2 to 4 in the afternoon. Wichita Falls, Texas, storms arrive between 3 and 5 in the afternoon. Abilene, Texas, 3 to 5 as well. Lawton, Oklahoma, 4 to 6 in the evening. Oklahoma City, and this is the heart of the bullseye, storms arrive between 5 and 7 in the evening and could produce tornadoes. Norman, Oklahoma, same timing. Moore, Oklahoma, same timing. Tulsa, Oklahoma, storms reach you between 6 and 8 in the evening. Stillwater, Oklahoma, 5 to 7. Moving into Kansas. Wichita, Kansas, storms arrive between 6 and 8 in the evening. Topeka, Kansas, 7 to 9. Kansas City, and this is the other heart of the bullseye, storms hit between 7 and 9 in the evening. Manhattan, Kansas, 6 to 8. Salina, Kansas, 5 to 7. Emporia, Kansas, 6 to 8. Lawrence, Kansas, 7 to 9. Moving into Missouri. St. Joseph, Missouri. This is right in the enhanced risk zone. Storms between 7 and 9 in the evening. Springfield, Missouri, 7 to 9. Joplin, Missouri, 7 to 9. Columbia, Missouri, 8 to 10. Jefferson City, 8 to 10. St. Louis, Missouri, 9 to 11 at night. Now here is where the overnight threat becomes critical. As that squall line develops and pushes east, it is going to carry damaging winds, potentially 60 to 80 miles per hour, well into the overnight hours across a huge swath of the country. Let me give you the timing for the squall line overnight. Little Rock, Arkansas, 10 at night to midnight. Memphis, Tennessee, 11 at night to 1 in the morning Saturday. Jonesboro, Arkansas, 10 to midnight. Pine Bluff, Arkansas, 10 to midnight. Jackson, Mississippi, 1 to 3 in the morning Saturday. Shreveport, Louisiana, 11 at night to 1 in the morning. Monroe, Louisiana, midnight to 2 in the morning. Nashville, Tennessee, midnight to 2 in the morning. Paducah, Kentucky, 11 at night to 1 in the morning. Evansville, Indiana, 11 to 1. Louisville, Kentucky, midnight to 2 in the morning. Lexington, Kentucky, 1 to 3 in the morning. Indianapolis, Indiana, 1 to 3 in the morning. Bloomington, Indiana, midnight to 2. Champaign, Illinois, midnight to 2. Peoria, Illinois, 11 at night to 1. Decatur, Illinois, midnight to 2. Springfield, Illinois, 11 to 1. Des Moines, Iowa, 8 to 10 in the evening. Cedar Rapids, Iowa, 9 to 11. Davenport, Iowa, 10 to midnight. Madison, Wisconsin, 9 to 11 at night. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 10 to midnight. Green Bay, Wisconsin, 11 to 1 in the morning. Rockford, Illinois, 10 to midnight. Chicago, Illinois, 11 at night to 1 in the morning. South Bend, Indiana, midnight to 2. Fort Wayne, Indiana, 1 to 3 in the morning. Now, I want to pause here because I know that was a lot of cities and a lot of times, but that is exactly the information you need. If you heard your city, write it down. Set an alarm on your phone. Make sure your weather alerts are turned on. And if you did not hear your city, drop it in the comments and I will get back to you with your specific timing. Do not skip past this next part because I need to talk about something that a lot of people overlook. The nocturnal severe weather threat. After dark on Friday night and into Saturday morning, that squall line is going to be racing across the Mid-South, the Ohio Valley, and the Tennessee Valley. Nocturnal severe weather is statistically more deadly than daytime severe weather, and the reason is simple. People are sleeping. They do not see the warnings. They do not hear the sirens. If you live anywhere east of the Mississippi River and south of the Great Lakes, you need to have a way to receive weather warnings while you sleep on Friday night. A weather radio with a battery backup is the gold standard. Most smartphones also have wireless emergency alerts turned on by default. Make sure yours is activated. Now let me talk about the flooding component of this outbreak because it is getting overshadowed by the tornado threat, but it could actually cause more widespread damage. And this is the part of the forecast that honestly worries me the most. Tornadoes are violent, they are terrifying, but they affect a relatively narrow path. Flooding affects everyone. It does not discriminate. Rich neighborhoods, poor neighborhoods, urban areas, rural farmland. When water rises, it rises for everyone. Starting tomorrow and continuing through Friday, we are going to see round after round after round of heavy rain producing storms moving over the same areas. The bullseye for the heaviest rainfall sets up from Dallas north to Oklahoma City, east to Little Rock and Shreveport, and then north through Springfield, Missouri, up toward Chicago. Another heavy rainfall corridor runs from Indianapolis through Cincinnati. Total rainfall accumulations through early next week could reach 4 to 6 inches across a wide area, with some spots potentially hitting 8 inches or more. That is an enormous amount of water. Rivers and streams are going to rise rapidly. Urban flooding is going to be a major concern. Low-lying areas, underpasses, and low water crossings are going to be extremely dangerous. Cities facing the highest flood risk include Dallas, Texas, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Shreveport, Louisiana, Little Rock, Arkansas, Springfield, Missouri, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Joplin, Missouri, Fort Smith, Arkansas, Fayetteville, Arkansas, Indianapolis, Indiana, Cincinnati, Ohio, Louisville, Kentucky, Bloomington, Illinois, Peoria, Illinois, St. Louis, Missouri, Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, Paducah, Kentucky, Jackson, Mississippi, Monroe, Louisiana, Dayton, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, and several dozen smaller communities in between. If you see purple or red shading on the rainfall forecast maps for your area, please take it seriously. Watch those creeks and streams. Do not just focus on the tornado and severe thunderstorm warnings. Flash flood warnings are equally important and can be just as deadly. Now, I need to shift gears because there is a lot happening outside of the severe weather zone too, and millions of you need to hear this. Let us talk about the Northeast. While the southern half of the country deals with severe storms, the Northeast is dealing with a winter weather event. Ice and snow are impacting areas from New York all the way up through New England. Here is what to expect. For your Wednesday morning commute across the Northeast, expect ice and snow-covered roads. Slick spots are going to be a real problem. Concord, New Hampshire, 1 to 3 inches of additional snow. Portland, Maine, 1 to 3 inches. Augusta, Maine, same. Down East Maine, which is the coastal area from Bar Harbor up to Lubec, could see the highest amounts. Burlington, Vermont, light snow accumulations. Montpelier, Vermont, same. Now, as you move closer to the coast, the precipitation type shifts. Long Island, New York is going to see more freezing drizzle than snow. Coastal Connecticut, same thing. Rhode Island, freezing drizzle. Cape Cod, Massachusetts, freezing drizzle. Hartford, Connecticut, a mix. Providence, Rhode Island, a mix. New Haven, Connecticut, freezing drizzle with some light snow mixing in. Boston, Massachusetts, mainly freezing drizzle with a little bit of snow. That freezing drizzle can deposit a glaze of ice up to 1/10 of an inch. That does not sound like much, but it is enough to turn roads and sidewalks into skating rinks. Leave plenty of extra time for your commute on Wednesday morning if you are anywhere in the Northeast. Albany, New York, a mix of light snow and freezing rain. Syracuse, New York, light snow. Rochester, New York, light snow. Buffalo, New York, mainly dry but cold. Scranton, Pennsylvania, freezing drizzle possible. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, mainly rain with some slick spots on bridges and overpasses. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, cold rain. New York City, cold rain with some freezing drizzle possible in the northern suburbs. Trenton, New Jersey, cold rain. Newark, New Jersey, cold rain. Now let us head out west because our friends on the Pacific coast have weather to deal with too. A Pacific storm system is bringing significant precipitation to the Pacific Northwest and the northern Rockies. Portland, Oregon, expect about 1 inch of rainfall through Wednesday evening. Seattle, Washington, similar amounts. Olympia, Washington, heavy rain at times. Eugene, Oregon, moderate to heavy rain. The Cascade Mountains in Washington and Oregon are going to see several inches to a few feet of snow at higher elevations. The passes could be treacherous. If you are planning to travel over Snoqualmie Pass or Stevens Pass in Washington or Sandiam Pass or Willamette Pass in Oregon, check road conditions before you go. Moving into the Rockies. Boise, Idaho, light snow in the valleys, heavier amounts in the mountains. Sun Valley, Idaho, significant snow possible. Missoula, Montana, moderate to heavy snow. Kalispell, Montana, heavy snow. Great Falls, Montana, moderate snow. Helena, Montana, moderate snow. Butte, Montana, heavy snow. Jackson Hole, Wyoming, heavy mountain snow. Yellowstone area, significant accumulation possible. Denver, Colorado, maybe a little bit of snow, but nothing major. Colorado Springs, Colorado, minimal impact. Salt Lake City, Utah, rain in the valley, snow in the Wasatch Mountains. Now let me talk about temperatures because there is a fascinating and dramatic temperature story unfolding here. Ahead of Friday's big storm system, warm air is going to surge northward across the eastern half of the country. We are talking record warmth potential across the Ohio Valley on Thursday and Friday. Columbus, Ohio could see temperatures 15 to 20 degrees above average. Cincinnati, Ohio, same. Indianapolis, Indiana, flirting with record highs. Louisville, Kentucky, well above average. St. Louis, Missouri, unusually warm. Nashville, Tennessee, spring-like warmth. Charlotte, North Carolina, very pleasant. Atlanta, Georgia, warm. Raleigh, North Carolina, warm. Richmond, Virginia, above average. Washington, District of Columbia, above average. Baltimore, Maryland, above average. But then the cold front blasts through on Friday and Saturday, and temperatures are going to crash. This is going to be one of the most dramatic temperature swings of the year so far. Some cities could see a 40-degree temperature drop in just 12 to 18 hours. And those strong temperature contrasts are exactly what fuel severe weather. Here is the thing that a lot of people do not realize. We are not done after this weekend. Looking at the 6 to 10-day outlook, the storm train is going to keep rolling. Saturday, March 7th, even after Friday's main event, we are still going to have severe weather potential. Saturday's threat shifts to the southeast. Coastal Texas is in play. Corpus Christi, Houston, Beaumont, Galveston all need to watch for storms. Lake Charles, Louisiana, Monroe, Louisiana, Jackson, Mississippi. These cities are going to be dealing with dew points in the 60s. Plenty of moisture and instability for severe thunderstorms. Farther to the north and east, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, and West Virginia could also see isolated severe weather on Saturday, though the threat will be more limited because dew points will be lower in the 50s rather than the 60s. Nashville, Tennessee, Saturday storms possible. Knoxville, Tennessee, watching for storms Saturday afternoon. Chattanooga, Tennessee, same. Memphis, Tennessee, lingering threat. Huntsville, Alabama, cannot rule out a storm or two. Birmingham, Alabama, on the edge. Lexington, Kentucky, possible severe weather Saturday. Charleston, West Virginia, isolated threat. Roanoke, Virginia, on the periphery, and the list goes on. Let me also give you Saturday timing for the Gulf Coast cities. Houston, Texas, storms could develop between noon and 4 in the afternoon Saturday. Beaumont, Texas, 1 to 5 in the afternoon. Galveston, Texas, 1 to 4. Corpus Christi, Texas, 11 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. Victoria, Texas, noon to 4. Lake Charles, Louisiana, 2 to 6 in the afternoon. Lafayette, Louisiana, 3 to 7 in the evening. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 4 to 8 in the evening. New Orleans, Louisiana, you are on the far eastern edge. Storms possible between 6 and 10 Saturday evening, but coverage should be more isolated. Hattiesburg, Mississippi, 4 to 8. Jackson, Mississippi, 3 to 7. Meridian, Mississippi, 3 to 7. Laurel, Mississippi, 4 to 8. Natchez, Mississippi, 3 to 6. Alexandria, Louisiana, 2 to 6. Shreveport, Louisiana, noon to 4 Saturday. This is your second round after Friday night. Texarkana, Saturday morning, lingering showers from the overnight squall line. One thing I want to emphasize about Saturday, the cold front is going to be the key player. The speed at which it moves southeastward will determine exactly who sees the worst weather. If it moves faster, the storms push through quicker but maybe less organized. If it slows down, storms could train over the same areas and we get another flooding situation. We will have much better clarity on that by Thursday and Friday as the models lock in. And then beyond this weekend, we are already watching signals for another significant storm system developing around Tuesday, March 10th and Wednesday, March 11th. That one could bring another round of severe weather to the central United States, along with snow on its northern side and an ice threat in between. Early model runs suggest a strong low-pressure system developing somewhere in the central United States, though the exact track is still uncertain at 7 to 8 days out. On the northwest side of that low, there could be enough cold air for significant snowfall. In the transition zone, an ice storm is possible with freezing rain that could knock out power and make travel treacherous. And in the warm sector ahead of the low, we could see another round of severe thunderstorms, possibly including tornadoes. The cities that need to watch this developing situation include much of the Mississippi River Valley, the Ohio Valley, the Tennessee Valley, the Mid-Atlantic, and the Northeast. Even parts of the Southeast could pick up much-needed moisture from this system to help with the ongoing drought. And here is the kicker. The cold air that follows this second storm system could be significant. We are talking about a sustained period of below-average temperatures potentially lasting through the middle of March. That cold air could push the snow line much farther south than what we have seen this winter. Cities like St. Louis, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Columbus, Pittsburgh, and even areas farther south could see accumulating snow as we head deeper into March. Remember, some of the biggest snowstorms in history have happened in March. The atmosphere has more moisture to work with, and when you combine that with a strong, cold air mass, you get heavy, wet snow that can snap tree branches and bring down power lines. We will have much more on that system as we get closer and the high-resolution models come into range. Let me also mention the wind situation. March is the transition between winter and spring, and that means huge temperature contrasts across the country. Those contrasts drive wind. Whether you are on the West Coast, in the plains, or on the East Coast, gusty winds are going to be a recurring theme over the next 2 weeks. Some days we could see sustained winds of 25 to 35 miles per hour with gusts over 50 miles per hour, even outside of thunderstorms. That is enough to bring down tree branches, knock over unsecured outdoor furniture, and make driving difficult, especially for high-profile vehicles. All right. I want to do a quick recap because we have covered an enormous amount of information and I want to make sure the key takeaways are crystal clear tonight, Tuesday evening, and overnight into Wednesday. Round 1. Lower end severe threat, 1 out of 5, mainly hail and heavy rain from Oklahoma through Missouri. Overnight storms mean you need alerts on while you sleep. Wednesday, March 4th, round 2. Slight risk, 2 out of 5. Storms fire in the afternoon from Dallas up through Little Rock and into southern Illinois. Damaging hail, damaging winds, isolated tornadoes, major flash flood threat in the Ohio Valley from training thunderstorms. Thursday, March 5th, round 3. The buildup. Supercells fire along the dry line in West Texas and the Panhandle during the late afternoon and evening. Monster hail possible around Amarillo and Lubbock. Isolated but potentially significant tornadoes. Storms push into Oklahoma City area by late evening. Friday, March 6th, round 4. The main event. 3 out of 5 enhanced risk from Oklahoma City to Kansas City. 60 to 80 knot mid-level jet, wide open warm sector, dew points in the upper 60s. Supercells in the afternoon transitioning to a damaging squall line overnight. Tornadoes likely. Some could be strong and long-tracked. Damaging winds of 60 to 80 miles per hour with the overnight squall line. This is the day to take most seriously, Saturday, March 7th. Lingering severe threat shifts to the Gulf Coast states and the Tennessee and Ohio valleys. Not as intense as Friday, but still capable of producing damaging storms. And through all of this, heavy rainfall totals of 4 to 8 inches are going to create significant flash flooding and river flooding from Texas to the Ohio Valley. Now, before I go, I want to make sure I cover a few more cities that I know people are going to ask about. San Antonio, Texas. You are on the southern periphery. Storms are possible Wednesday evening, but the main threat is to your north. Austin, Texas, similar situation on the edge. Storms possible, but the core action is north of you. Houston, Texas, your bigger day is Saturday. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Saturday is your day to watch. New Orleans, Louisiana, you are on the fringe Saturday. Mobile, Alabama, not a big threat this week, but stay aware. Tallahassee, Florida, very low threat. Jacksonville, Florida, minimal impact. Tampa, Florida, you are clear. Miami, Florida, not involved in this pattern. Moving north, Detroit, Michigan, squall line could graze you very early Saturday morning. Cleveland, Ohio, similar timing. Toledo, Ohio, possible storms overnight Friday. Grand Rapids, Michigan, on the northern edge of the squall line. Minneapolis, Minnesota, not a direct threat from severe weather but very windy. Omaha, Nebraska, Thursday, you should watch for storms. Lincoln, Nebraska, same. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, on the northern fringe. Thursday. Rapid City, South Dakota, not involved. Bismarck, North Dakota, not involved. Fargo, North Dakota, minimal impact. Back in the southeast, Tupelo, Mississippi, Saturday afternoon storms possible. Meridian, Mississippi, Saturday. Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Saturday. Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Saturday late. Montgomery, Alabama, Saturday late. Columbus, Georgia, minimal. Macon, Georgia, very low. Savannah, Georgia, clear. Columbia, South Carolina, minimal. Greenville, South Carolina, very low. Asheville, North Carolina, low threat. Wilmington, North Carolina, not involved. Virginia Beach, Virginia, not involved. Norfolk, Virginia, not involved. In the mid-Atlantic. Washington, District of Columbia, mainly just a cold rain threat. Dover, Delaware, rain. Annapolis, Maryland, rain. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, rain to possibly a wintry mix early next week. Allentown, Pennsylvania, same. Out west beyond the Pacific Northwest. San Francisco, California, dry. Los Angeles, California, dry. San Diego, California, dry. Phoenix, Arizona, dry and warm. Las Vegas, Nevada, dry. Albuquerque, New Mexico, breezy Thursday but mainly dry. El Paso, Texas, windy and dry. If you did not hear your city, please drop it in the comments. I will get back to you. That is a promise. And here is one final thing I need you to do. If you have family or friends who live anywhere from Texas to Wisconsin, anywhere from Oklahoma to Ohio, please share this with them right now. A lot of people do not pay attention to weather forecasts until it is too late. Friday has the potential to be a significant severe weather day, possibly the biggest of 2026 so far. A 2-minute text message or a shared link could literally save someone's life. Now, looking ahead to next week, and this is the teaser I want to leave you with, there are strong signals in the long-range models for an even bigger storm system developing around March 10th and 11th. I am talking about a deep, low-pressure system tracking through the Midwest with enough cold air on its northwest side for significant snow, an ice threat in the transition zone, and another round of severe weather in the warm sector. If those models verify, we could be doing this all over again in just 1 week. Plus, the cold air that follows could bring a sustained period of below-average temperatures through the middle of March. We could see the snow line shift much farther south than what we have seen recently, bringing accumulating snow back to the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and the Northeast. I will have a full breakdown of that system as we get closer and the high-resolution models come into range. Make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on so you do not miss that update. This March is shaping up to be one of the wildest rides we have seen in years, and we are just getting started. The atmosphere is angry, the jet stream is amplified, and the storm train is not stopping anytime soon. We have not seen a ceiling this high on severe weather potential this early in the season in quite some time, and the pattern is showing no signs of calming down. Every single model run keeps reinforcing the same message. Active, dynamic, and potentially dangerous weather is going to be the theme for the next 2 weeks at minimum across the United States. If you have elderly neighbors or family members who do not use the internet much, please reach out to them personally. Make a phone call, send a text, stop by their house if you can. Make sure they know what is coming this week, especially for Friday. A lot of older Americans still rely on television weather, and that is fine, but a personal heads up from someone they trust goes a long way. Be that person for somebody this week. Stay safe out there. Check your weather alerts. Review your severe weather plan. Know where your safe room is. Have a go bag ready just in case. And remember, drop your city in the comments. I will be down there all day and all night giving you personalized forecasts. Let me also run through a few more cities for people who might be wondering if they are in the clear or not. Topeka, Kansas. You are not in the clear on Friday. Storms between 7 and 9 in the evening. Dodge City, Kansas. Thursday is your bigger concern. Garden City, Kansas, same, Thursday evening. Liberal, Kansas, Thursday evening watch. Enid, Oklahoma, Friday afternoon into evening, 5 to 7. Bartlesville, Oklahoma, Friday 6 to 8 in the evening. McAllister, Oklahoma, Friday evening, 7 to 9. Durant, Oklahoma, Friday evening, 7 to 9. Ada, Oklahoma, Friday 6 to 8. Muskogee, Oklahoma, 6 to 8. Ponca City, Oklahoma, 5 to 7 Friday. Woodward, Oklahoma, Thursday evening is your day. For Texas, let me fill in some more. Midland, Texas, mainly dry. You are on the west side of the action. Odessa, Texas, same. San Angelo, Texas, Thursday, you could see some storms, but the big stuff stays north. Tyler, Texas, Friday evening storms possible between 8 and 10. Longview, Texas, Friday 8 to 10. Texarkana, Texas, Friday 9 to 11 at night. Wichita Falls, Texas, Thursday evening, and then again Friday afternoon. Denton, Texas, Wednesday evening, and again Friday evening. McKinney, Texas, Wednesday evening storms, then again Friday. Plano, Texas, same as McKinney. Garland, Texas, same timing. Mesquite, Texas, same. Grand Prairie, Texas, same. For Arkansas, a few more. Hot Springs, Arkansas, Friday evening, 8 to 10. Russellville, Arkansas, Friday, 7 to 9. Conway, Arkansas, Friday, 8 to 10. Searcy, Arkansas, Friday, 8 to 10. Mountain Home, Arkansas, Friday, 7 to 9. Paragould, Arkansas, Friday night, 10 to midnight. Helena, Arkansas, Friday night, 10 to midnight. West Memphis, Arkansas, same timing as Memphis, Tennessee, 11 at night to 1 in the morning Saturday. And for those of you in the upper Midwest wondering about your weekend, Duluth, Minnesota, you should be mostly in the clear. St. Cloud, Minnesota, minimal threat. Rochester, Minnesota, possible storms, Friday evening but lower end. La Crosse, Wisconsin, Friday evening storms possible. Eau Claire, Wisconsin, Friday evening on the northern edge. Appleton, Wisconsin, Friday late evening. Oshkosh, Wisconsin, Friday late evening. Janesville, Wisconsin, Friday 9 to 11 at night. Kenosha, Wisconsin, Friday 10 to midnight. Racine, Wisconsin, same. In Michigan, Kalamazoo, storms could graze you very early Saturday morning. Ann Arbor, Michigan, possible early Saturday. Lansing, Michigan, early Saturday morning. Flint, Michigan, early Saturday. Saginaw, Michigan, early Saturday. Traverse City, Michigan, likely in the clear. Marquette, Michigan, clear. For the southeast, a few more detailed timings. Montgomery, Alabama, if Saturday's cold front pushes in fast enough, isolated storms late Saturday afternoon. Dothan, Alabama, very low threat. Columbus, Georgia, minimal. Augusta, Georgia, minimal. Savannah, Georgia, not involved. Charleston, South Carolina, not involved. Florence, South Carolina, very low. Fayetteville, North Carolina, not involved. Greensboro, North Carolina, low. Winston-Salem, North Carolina, low. Roanoke, Virginia, isolated Saturday threat. Lynchburg, Virginia, minimal. Charlottesville, Virginia, minimal. Fredericksburg, Virginia, rain only. Winchester, Virginia, rain with possible wintry mix early next week. I also want to mention the drought situation because this is important context. Parts of the southeast, including the Carolinas, Georgia, and parts of the Tennessee Valley, have been dealing with drought conditions. The rainfall that does push into these areas over the next week could actually be beneficial. It is desperately needed. But for the areas getting 4 to 8 inches, that is too much too fast, and it becomes a flooding problem rather than drought relief. Now here is your severe weather safety checklist. I want every single person watching this to go through this list before Friday. Number 1, identify your safe room. If you have a basement, that is your safe room. If not, find an interior room on the lowest floor, away from windows. A closet, a bathroom, a hallway in the center of the house. Number 2, get a weather radio. You can find them at any hardware store or order one online. Make sure it has a battery backup. Number 3, make sure wireless emergency alerts are turned on in your phone settings. Number 4, have shoes and a flashlight next to your bed on Friday night. If a tornado hits while you are sleeping, you need to be able to move through debris. Shoes and a flashlight could save your life. Number 5, if you live in a mobile home or a manufactured home, identify a sturdy building nearby where you can shelter during a tornado warning. Mobile homes are not safe in tornadoes, period. Find a community shelter, a church, a neighbor's house with a basement. Have that plan ready before Friday. Number 6, keep your phone charged. If the power goes out, your phone may be your only link to warnings and information. Number 7, know the difference between a watch and a warning. A watch means conditions are favorable for severe weather. A warning means severe weather has been detected or is imminent. When you get a warning, take action immediately. The next update is coming tomorrow with fresh, high-resolution model data, and I promise you, the radar simulations for Friday are going to look absolutely jaw-dropping. We are going to be able to zoom in on individual supercells and show you exactly where the rotation sets up and where the squall line develops. It is going to be some of the most dramatic weather modeling you have seen in a long time. And we will be live streaming all day Friday, covering the storms in real time. You do not want to miss that one. I will see you right here very soon.